Hey, this is Kataem, and you're watching the 416 interview.
When did you start creating music?
Started creating music when I was 16. I say accurately. I'm now 23. So yeah.
What made you start creating music?
So basically, as a kid, I was doing a lot of poetry. That was kind of how I like figured out how I felt in certain moments. Like I didn't really have people to talk to or like real guidance. So kind of rap was my tool in navigating like everything I was going through at the time. Whether like I was generally a weird kid, so sometimes I wouldn't fit in, and I would try to like write out my thoughts in a certain way, and that just led me to like figure out what this rap stuff is and poetry, and led to me learning what rappers do, and rappers had the same kind of sentiment towards hip hop that I did. So I fell into like learning about like Eminem in my early ages, and then Nas, and then like seeing how they went about like translating their thoughts into rap form. And I just fell in love with it ever since. Picked up the laptop, started making beats and stuff, and really fell in love with music around that age. So it was like from 12 to like 16. That was like a whole process of falling in love with hip hop and stuff.
I'm gonna make sure I say it right. Kataem, right?
Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah, bro.
But yeah, no, I want to ask you, why go with your actual, Govy name rather than, making up an artist name?
I thought it was unique enough. I wanted something that no one else had, and my name was like there. So I was also trying to find something that like represents me, and then it's like, what's better than my name? I don't see any real reason to like change that by myself. It wasn't really something I thought about. I usually go by Cat to my friends and stuff, but like searched it up and that was taken by like 30 other people and stuff. I was like, I don't really want that or want to like compete with anyone for a name. So just went with mine, and yeah, since the beginning. So
What's your creative process like when creating a song?
it depends. Like sometimes it's like it'll be like a freestyle session where we just go in the booth and we just like throw ideas out the wall until it sticks. I'm very like precise with how I want things to happen. So I might be kind of annoying to work with, but also like I might like do a whole song and then cut off half of it and rearrange certain parts over here that would work better for like chorus and such. When I'm not using a pen, and yeah, it's pretty unorthodox in most cases. Sometimes I'm like writing for weeks to get the meaning of a song out. If I really like have an idea that I'm trying to get at, but I can't get at it yet. And then some days I'm like just I'm just straight writing. Like it'll be mad quick. Like it'll be 30 minutes to make a whole song and stuff and such. It really depends on the vibe and just getting it out. I really try not to be in the way of the process as much as possible.
Are you more of a freestyler or do you like to write?
I wouldn't really identify with anything. Just kind of get out of the way, whatever I'm feeling. Trying to get quicker at like figuring out how I'm feeling in the moment. Like sometimes I'd be urging myself to pick up the pen, and then I don't, and then it's probably the better choice in some cases, and then it's the other way around. But yeah, I just try to get out of the way. You know what I'm saying? Just let it flow.
And then on your website, it said that you're also an actor as well as a creative director. When did you start like venturing into those kind of routes in the creative process?
At the same time, really, when I started music, I was already in acting and stuff, so I was already like doing like commercials and in like doing guest star roles and then getting bigger roles over time. And music and acting has kind of grown with each other. So now they both kind of like feed into everything I'm doing now, and I'm like super blessed because I get to do them for a living, and like they both kind of like work with each other. Like the money I make from music goes into acting, and then acting to music and such. Creative directing is always been I've always been a creative from the jump. So like any chance I could, like I used to do videography. Um, when I was going to school, I went to school for film. used to do videography for other artists because I liked the idea of directing and I was good at editing and such. And I still have those things. I just rather not work as a videographer anymore. Writing scripts and such, that kind of creative directory. In that sense, I really just love art in all forms. So I try my best to like express outward in any form I can. So, and the better term to encompass all that is creative directory. So that's what I just say.
Is there any like particular reason that kind of made you like go toward acting or, go toward the creative directing kind of route or anything like that, or no?
Nah, like as I've always been a creative. I think like there's no. It didn't even feel like a decision I made, especially with music too. It just like felt like okay, this is what I'm falling into. Like I didn't have like a crossroad. It felt like just one path. I was meant to do the things that I'm doing now, and I've stuck with it. And it's kind of crazy thinking that like a fucking 11-year-old boy was right the whole time. So yeah, I just kind of stuck with whatever was my instinct at the time. Like the decision was made because like I was watching a lot of Family Channel and shit like at that age, and I wanted to be like them and stuff. And the commercial came up saying you could be an actor with Selena Gomez and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I was like inspired from the jump.
Do you want to let people know what kind of like projects you've been a part of, whether it's acting or just creative directing?
I got one. I'm working with my boy Crane and Cover Arts Daily right now. It's the only ones I'm really thinking about, other than like a bunch of other singles I'm already working for. They're working on Having Fun 2, and Crane is working on his first project. And I'm just, other than that, I'm kind of just making music every day and just like working with as many artists as possible, trying to collab, because that's a great way to network. And also, like, community building, getting closer with the people that actually listen to my music and such. All that at the very moment. Any moment, I'll have like a burst of inspiration where I go into project mode again and lock in like that. But right now, I'm just kind of going with the flow, letting my creativity venture.
In your Spotify account, you have like over like a quarter million monthly listeners on there right now. Was that growth like gradual?
Yeah, I'd say because I mean, I remember when it was like 2K, and I'd say like honestly, there was one song, "Ready for War," which is my top song right now, which kind of blew up, and but before then, I had a bunch of other songs that were already kind of like up there, and but this one like took off and went to like 14. I think it's at like 16 million right now, and that kind of is like the reason for a lot of the monthly listeners and such. Um, so that song kind of like pulled a lot of other songs out of nowhere. So it did feel like kind of a jump. But yeah, I've been working at it for a while and stuff. So like it's actually kind of going down. So I kind of got to like get more in touch with the people listening right now. So like I'm just watching as it like trickles down. I'm like no, we got to get that back up. But I'm trying to figure out what could be bigger than that track. So we've been. That's another thing I'm working on with the same guys. It's a lot of my connections are from Germany and LA and such. So I've been working with them. Like, how can we figure out a way to do another version of this and give the people what they want and get closer with the audience and such. So um, yeah, it kind of came out of nowhere, I would say. But we've been working at it for a while. Obviously, like nothing's really overnight success. There's a lot of days before that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I listened to Ready for War and stuff, and I was looking. There's two other names as well associated with the song. How'd you get like in touch? Because I saw one of them was from like Germany and stuff. How'd you get in touch with these guys?
Through Instagram, pretty much. I was just like a kid putting out his songs on SoundCloud and stuff, and then one guy heard a track and he was like, "Yo, you're dope. I want to sell you some beats." I didn't have money at the time, so I couldn't pay for the beats, but he was nice enough to like just give me the beat. And so we made a song that he played for people in the studio, and it was really good. And it got to like 100,000, and people were like in having their ears on it and such. And that guy was in Germany, so he was playing it for people in Germany. So one person leads to another, and then I meet my manager, and he's in connection with one of the greatest producers in Germany, and we kind of take it from there. And we've been working ever since, like overseas connection kind of thing, for like 2 years before I actually met them last year, and uh, actually 2 years back. And yeah, it's just been like we've been working together ever since. Like we meet up in different places all around the world and such, and make music as much as possible.
You've been to Germany?
Yeah, yeah, 2 years ago. So when I got to meet them for the first time, it was in Germany. So they took me around Germany and stuff, and took me to some of the studios out there. I got to go to Berlin, Hamburg, to meet Twy, which is a different company separate out of the my manager and the producer I work with. And Twy was nice enough to let me and my friends stay in the studio for a week. They have this nice studio, it's so dope, and we got to like couch surf a bit and just explore Hamburg for a bit. Then yeah, we did our little road trip and stuff, and like different music camps and such all around Europe. No, not all around. Europe is huge, but like in certain places and such. And yeah, that was my first time meeting them. This is a crazy experience. We're locked in for life.
I bet. I want to go back to "Ready for War" real quick. Did that like song blow up, or was it like a gradual increase in like plays?
I don't even know what blowing up really is. Like yeah, it wasn't like we uploaded and then the next day it was like, oh shit, it's at 1 million. It wasn't like that. I think yeah, over time, but say it took like a month first to get to a million, and then that's still pretty quick. That's why I don't really know what blowing up really is in this case. But yeah, it kind of blew up from there. But once it hit 1 million, it just like took off, and then it was like at 3 million the next week and shit, and then kind of went up like that. Now it's like kind of slowing down and such. But it was cool. It was like label. We gave it to a label in LA named Position Music, and they kind of took it. There was a bit of there was something with the promo and such, but we like got the lyric video out and that went up too, and a whole bunch of things. Yeah, yeah, kind of. I'd say kind of did blow up, but also it's still gradually increasing over time now.
Other than "Ready for War," is there another song that in particular that you've made like kind of like stands out in the sense that this kind of like got a lot of plays or kind of blew up in the same sense?
Um, Nothing blew up quite as big as Ready for War. Uh, Everything else would be like, but there is another track like Juggernaut. I think is at 2 million right now or so, and there's a bunch of tracks under that are doing pretty good and either haven't cracked 1 million, but they're like over like 500,000 and such. Like there's a bunch of music like in that vein too, like kind of in that same style in a sense, because I've been working with those guys for a bit now. But yeah, I'd say like there's number two. Ready for War is still number one right now. We're still trying to crack that ceiling, but number two would probably be like Juggernaut, and then number three. There was this track with League of Legends that I did, which was my first placement. And League of Legends is a monster of a game, so like that took off on its own. And but like when it comes to like solo songs with me and Jaws, or just me and stuff. Yeah, Juggernaut would be like the runner-up.
Any advice for any advice for anyone just hopping into this creative space?
Just do what your heart tells you. Honestly, try to make your heart the loudest voice in the room, but also be aware of more reasonable voices at the same time. Try to listen, keep your ears open. Yeah, just make sure you're aware. Try not to put too much pressure on yourself. If there is a load of work you can give to someone else, or any kind of way you can take the load off of you, because it will be a lot, do that, because you need you at the end of the day. So, yeah.
I bet. Any new projects people should look out for?
You should look at all my music, everything that's happening. Uh, I got a movie coming out. I think it's my first lead role. I don't know when it's gonna drop, but look out for it. I got so much music out. Look out for that. I'm also dropping like unreleased, not really unreleased, but like demos on my SoundCloud. So yeah, just tap in. You know what I'm saying? We here. We gonna be here forever. To be honest. And yeah, just look out for me in general. Fire on the rise, breathe slow.